My name is Sam Hale. I'm going to be talking today about the Trautman Tech Station. A lot of people don't understand it completely because it's a pretty complex piece of equipment with a lot of options. So what we want to help you do is understand all those options and how they can actually make your lab a lot more efficient in a very tight, compact space. So this is the base portion of the station. This is what everything's built off of. So I wanted to kind of walk through real quick what comes just as the standard base. So as it comes, it's going to come with an electrical supply down here. You should know your serial number is going to be right here on the plate on the bottom, so if you ever need that, that's where that is. It's going to come with the two tables. So the upper table is going to be for holding tools. It's purposefully somewhat smaller. We don't want this to become the collection point for every tool that your technician has. We want this to only have the tools that are really there for the job. This table down here is going to give you a little more room to store things like gloves, hammer, scissors, things that you might not want to put up here that might be slightly larger. I have a space to put them down here. The upper table and all these things that are slotted up here can actually be adjusted in height. It has a gas adjustment cylinder. I'm going to ask Travis to come in here. So if you talk to somebody about tech stations when you call Fillauer, you're very likely to get either myself or Travis. And Travis actually builds these things, so if we have any questions, he can always help as well. So Travis, if you can just show us how this thing adjusts. So the red handle is going to be a brake. So that's basically going to keep the thing from moving really fast on you. The dark black handle is what's going to stop rotation and movement. So we can push it down, lock it anywhere within that range that we want to. So for any height of clinician or any size cast that I want to be able to get to, I can move this thing up and down and get it into the right frame for me. And you'll see how that works as we start to add some more pieces to it. It does come with all the piping that you need. Whoop. And all of these traps are going to have quick disconnects for your pipes. So very easy to install and put your vacuum to whatever you need. It's intended to be piped straight up into your ceiling. So I can take this, run it up into my ceiling. Thankfully, these all move and rotate. So I'm never going to get these things all wound up in each other. They're going to travel with this portion of the station that they're actually moving with, and you'll see that as we go through it in the future. The other thing that you're going to get with this is your anchor kit. It's going to have some bolts so you can anchor this thing into the floor. You really want to do that before you put that first really big cast on and you flip the thing over. So do make sure to anchor this into the floor. It's pretty heavy on its own. However, you will want to make sure that it is secured. It also is going to come with some vibration damping tape. So if you're in a facility where you need to control some of that vibration going into the floor below it, there's some stuff in here. Template on the inside to make sure that you know where on the floor those holes are going to go. That is the base station, and what we'll show you next will be some of the parts and pieces that are going to go onto this to make it functional. One of the tools for the Trautman Tech Station is going to be the pipe vise. This is a pretty common tool that you would have in any lab. Travis, if you can put that one in for me. This would be one of the arms that you can add to it. This would be for modification. But it's a basic pipe vise. It's the Trautman pipe vise that you're used to. Has the two positions, ability to put it vertically or horizontally, any mold that you wanted to. So this is going to give you your modification area. If you wanted to, you can even add buckets straight to the side to the bucket holders. If I can put that, it helps if you don't put the handle in the way. So you can put your bucket there for all your modification. So this is your first and simplest tool for the tech station. One of the attachments for the Trautman Tech Station is actually going to be our pipe vise, but with something we call the drop hitch, which is going to actually lower it down a little bit. Travis, if you can go ahead and install that for us. This is going to give us an option at a little lower height. Helps a little bit when we're doing things like laminating, drape forming, where we want to be able to get to the top of a mold. We want to lower the whole thing down so we can work with it a little more easily. The drop hitch is going to do that, or let us work with a clinician who might be a little shorter and we can switch things out more quickly. It also can accommodate really two sizes of mold. There's two positions with this, so we can move that in and out and give a little more space if we need that. Nice thing is if we don't need it, we can fold it all away, compress it down in size. Has a special place to hold what we call the shepherd's stick, or basically your lamination bag holder. It's going to sit right here on this, give us room to work with that. We could also use this for drape or blister forming, so we can bring in the blister molding Platen. I'll say that 4 times. The blister molding Platen right here. It would fit down in here, and you can actually do this all right here on this drop hitch. For the Tech Station, we have 2 sizes of Platens for you to do your blister forming with. The 12-inch, which Travis will go ahead and install, fits right into either the pipe vise with drop hitch or just the pipe vise. Then you'll very quickly be able to attach via a quick disconnect the hose from one of your attachments up here to the bottom of that Platen. I'm going to be able to get my vacuum straight there. Platens are going to come in either the 12-inch or the 9-inch diameter. Plenty of room for their pipe and or your attachment for your VFJ to fit down in there really nice and easily. The drape forming pipe holder will be the next thing that we're going to talk about. Travis, if you can go ahead and install that for me. So this is going to be for doing any kind of orthotic drape forming or prosthetic drape forming that you might be wanting to do. Attachment's going to clip right in. It's got settings and adjustments for the height, the angle of that attachment point, so I can actually control what angle my cast is at. So that'll let me do things like mold the foot plate in. Has an easy connection. Again, you're going to have your quick disconnects straight into that pipe former, or that drape forming pipe holder. You're going to be able to get your vacuum straight there. Has a silicone seal up here at the top, so it's going to seal off really nicely to your plastic here. No more cutting it off, making it a giant disaster of your pipe or struggling to get it off. This makes life a whole lot easier. Nice thing too is if I'm working with multiple of these, I can just take this once I'm done working with it, pull the pin, move that up out of the way. Now if I'm in a really nice and tight space, I can actually just take the entire thing, move that on around, work with my next mold if I put another one in that side. So this is a really common and probably one of the most popular of the attachments for the Trautman Tech Station. Has a lot of versatility for doing a lot of different things in the average lab. So. The LJ100 adapter is a way that you're going to typically do a lamination with this. There are a couple other ways to do laminations on this type of equipment. However, this fits in really nice and easily, and this is something that most people are used to using. Just fits down inside the pipe vise. And Travis can hook me up there. So now on the same device, I have the ability to do my laminations using the same equipment that I'm used to using for that. The other thing that you can put on the Trautman Tech Station is going to be a bench carver. This is a variable speed bench carver, so it's a smaller version of the Trautman that you may have. If you've got a bench carver already, it's the same unit that we can put right here on your Trautman Tech Station. The variable speed, here it does have a quick momentary switch, so do know, hey, you actually have to push it up to start it, down to stop it. All right, so this one does have variable speed, so we can control that here. Puts all the standard attachments that you'd be used to using like this. This is an expansion arbor. If you haven't used these are really nice. So if you're tired of your sanding cones falling off, this helps a whole lot with that problem. But you can get the Trautman carver that'll fit with this entire unit. Really makes things nice and easy, compact. I can have an entire lab in a small space. This is the O&P modification version of the Trautman Tech Station. It's going to come with a few things. It's going to come with drop hitches, 4 drop hitches, one on each of the 4 sides, 2 buckets. These are going to come with tubes and plugs so that if I'm not using one of these stations, I can come right back in. And if somebody, oh, there we go, quick disconnects. We can actually plug these back up as well. This is going to allow you to modify just about anything you wanted at 2 different heights. Also is the base unit for doing things like lamination and blister forming. So if you wanted to order those accessories as well, you can add those to this, and this gives you kind of an everything station from modification on up. But this is the base station, comes with the drop hitches and some buckets and the tubes for connection. This is the Prosthetic Tech Station. It's got everything you need to do prosthetic fabrication. You got 4 drop hitches. It's going to give you the ability to do modification at both heights. You're also going to get a 12-inch Platen, so you can do your thermoforming right here. And you're going to get the lamination assembly here so that I can do lamination on that side. You will have to select your appropriate lamination fixture down here, depending on how you typically do that. The LJ100 would fit right in there and give us that option if we wanted to add that. That is ordered separately, however, depending on if that's the way you do your laminations or not. So this is the Prosthetics Tech Station, and we'll give you everything you need for that. This is the multi-station version of the Trautman Tech Station. It's going to have a little bit of everything, so you can do a little bit of everything you might do in a single office. Keep everything in a nice contained space. It's going to have the pipe vise, standard height. It's going to have 2 of the pipe vices on drop hitches. That's going to get that lower height, so you can do things like lamination. Going to include the equipment for that. So you got 2 of those, and then you're going to have 1 of the drape forming pipe holders for your orthotic work. It will come with pipes for each of these. It just gets a little busy to look at, a little easier to see this way. But this kind of gives you everything you might want to do for both prosthetics and orthotics in one station in only about 9 square feet. This is the Trautman Tech Station for Orthotic Thermoplastic. It's going to come with 4 of the drape forming pipe holders. So the nice thing with those is you can get them at any height or any angle that you want to form those, especially like AFOs, foot plates, things where you might want different angles on these, on the molds. Certainly you can take them all the way down flat. The nice thing is once you're done in that area, you can actually take this, fold it all the way up out of the way. So if I got to put this in a corner, I can take it, put that right in front of the oven. Once I'm done working on that KAFO, move it up out of the way, loosen the table, rotate that out of the way, put the next thing in front of the oven, move these on around. I can have a very nice, efficient production area because I can move what's being worked on in front of the oven, move everything else out of the way for someone else to cut it off, trim it out, or even to modify in one area or the other. So I can really use this to increase the efficiency within that area of my office. And this is the Orthotic Thermoplastic Station. It's going to come with all of this that you see here with the 4 pipe drape forming pipe holders. The Trautman Tech Station really does give you kind of everything in the smallest space available. So I can fold this thing up into about 9 square feet, and I can have any size lab where I can accommodate a small lab, have every type of equipment that technician may need in a very small space. They can fold it up. It's out of the way when they're not using it, but when they are using it, I can bring everything out, make sure that whatever they're working on is in front of the equipment they need to be working with, so I can move things in and out in front of ovens, have it back out of the way for another technician to work on. So this is great whether it's a small lab that needs a little bit of everything or a big production facility where I am working jobs in and out quickly and just need everything to move efficiently and to be where it needs to be at the time it needs to be there. This is really a great tool for any size lab and will give you the tools that you need to accomplish pretty much anything in orthotic and prosthetic fabrication.